In honor of Black History Month, Soul Mill Cultural Center is proud to present the Black Artists Matter exhibition to showcase art from some extremely talented local African American artists. I'm excited to interview our amazing artists, and I'd like to take a moment to get to know more about their artistry and the particular pieces that they've selected.
I want to introduce to everybody today our fabulous photographer, Tokie Taylor. I want you to give us a little bit about yourself and the title of your pieces and how you came to kind of participate with us in our Black Artists Matter exhibition.
Okay, I'm going to start with the jokes. I'm participating because Susan asked me to participate, and I believe in supporting community. One of the best things about being an artist is being able to share the work and help individuals see themselves in places where they typically may be missed. And so my work really does center on children. It centers on African American children, to be specific. And I like to create work that shows them in an elevated, strong, empowered light. So all of the pieces that are in the exhibition, that's what you're gonna see. One of the pieces is called Crowned. We have a young girl wearing a blue dress. She's got a crown on her head. Blue in the African American community is a very powerful color. It is a color that is used to keep spirits away, and also a color that is used to draw spirits in. And one of the points for that particular piece is that this young lady is surrounded by her ancestors. She is wearing her crown, and she is empowered. Another piece is one I made much earlier when I began creating works, and it's called Journey. And Journey was really more so about me. It was about my journey in discovering who I was as an artist, and this journey of becoming other than a wife, mom, teacher. It was about my journey of connecting back to myself, because I kind of had lost myself in the life of a mom, which was, which is a 24-hour job, and I had kind of lost the connection to myself. So that piece is called Journey.
I want to talk a little bit about how you came to be a photographer primarily, because I think that's atypical of a lot of African American artists. You know, we think of African American artists in a certain light and working in certain mediums. And you talked a little bit about your journey as an artist. Can you talk about how you landed on photography?
Yes, I absolutely can. I actually am a native of Atlanta. I graduated from Grady High School, and Grady High School, class of 95. Grady High School had a phenomenal communications department, and a part of that was a photography class. George Mitchell, he's still alive today. I follow him on Facebook. George Mitchell gave me my first camera, which is a K1000. Everybody starts with a K1000. And it was really one of those mediums that I really held on to. And I carried on. You know, you go to college, you kind of drift away from your passion a little bit, but I always had a camera on campus. I was that photographer on campus that was documenting everything that was going on campus. And I'll backtrack a little bit, but at the back to high school, you're like, why are you going all the way back to high school? George Mitchell gave us an opportunity to shoot Coretta Scott King. And it was this book that he was doing that included students from Grady High School. It's called The Many Faces of Auburn Avenue. It is in Fulton County Library System right now. And that really stuck with me because it showed me that photography is a means of documentation. It's a means of capturing the history and the essence of a person, and that access. And so that really stuck with me throughout those many years. And I didn't know it at the time. A lot of things that we encounter when we're young, we don't know the impact that it's having at the time, but when we reflect back on it later, we get to see what was really going on underneath the surface. So that was how I first got into photography. And then I teach art and photography in the high school here in Atlanta. And so I have been teaching for, I've been teaching for 22 years at this point, and I have been teaching the students about all these different artists and all these different concepts, painting, drawing, and of course photography, and I wasn't taking my own advice. I wasn't making for myself, but I'm encouraging these students to tap into what they're trying to say. And so after the kids, it was this aha moment of, let me figure out the medium that I'm most drawn to, and it was photography. And that's how I came back to it.
Yeah, I love that. And the word access kind of stuck out to me. I want to tell all of our, viewing audience how they can access your work.
Okay.
But I want you to delve a little bit more into that word access and how it relates to your work. Because when I look at your work, I feel like I'm accessing a realm that is not easily accessible. And that's what I love most about it.
So in regards to access, there are certain tenets that artists will have as a through line in all the work. It doesn't matter if their subject matter may change or what have you, but that through line is always there. My through line is that I want to create images of African American people or people in the diaspora that show them powerful, that show them beautiful, that show them connecting to their heritage. And so that's always going to be there. And I do that with real intent and purpose because I can remember being in art spaces and not seeing anything that reflected me, that reflected my culture, there was just a void. And I've always operated with the intent of filling that void so that my children or the next generation will never experience this void of seeing self. There's something really powerful about seeing yourself, and there's something really powerful about not seeing yourself. It almost gives you authority and license to be in space, or it removes your authority and license to be in space. And so when we look at what museums are and institutions are collecting and showing, there has to be some thoughtfulness about what is it that we are saying is most valuable to be collected and shown, and what are we saying is not of value. And so that's a part of that through line that I make sure is in the pieces. It's about making sure that there's access to seeing yourself.
That's awesome. Okay, and just to kind of bring it to a close, I want you to share with the people how they can access your work, how they can find you and follow you either on social media, websites, because this continued conversation is one that I've been obsessed with in looking at your work and working with you. So just tell everybody how they can find.
Okay, on social media, I am Tokie, Tokie, Studio, Studio. That's for IG, that's for Facebook, that's for Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse. And my website is www.tokietaylorstudio.com. There's artwork that is available if you want to inbox me and inquire. There's artwork there. And I also do a limited amount of commissioned fine art portraiture. So the access for both of those is there as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tokie, for sharing your time and your talents with us. We're so honored to have your work here and just honored to be able to get a little window into your process.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our viewers for watching. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages at Sewell Mill for updates about our upcoming shows, classes, and events. Also, support these local artists. Thank you again for watching, and stay well.